What's up, my gems, and welcome back to Cards for Hire. Okay, y'all, so today's message is absolutely beautiful. So, I have been seeing elephants everywhere from cartoons to depictions as I drive to commercials and things of that nature. So, there's something significant about the elephant. So when I think about elephants, I think about their good memory. They have very good memory. If I'm not mistaken, they'll never forget what you've done to them or things of that nature. But I'm also drawn to the fact that elephants' herds are led by the eldest female of the herd. Yes. Okay. So I looked up the spiritual meaning and it talks about wisdom and strength and things of that nature. And then when you Google it, it also says loyalty and community. So there's something so very significant about us as a frequency, us as a nation, as a world, as a collective, moving more towards a community like mindset. As I shuffled the deck, also Pink Parade. I was getting dressed upstairs, and Pink Parade from Dumbo came to mind. Community, Pink Parade. Okay, no, Pink Elephants, Pink Elephant Parade. That's what it was, Pink Elephant Parade. So I'm sitting down here, sitting in the energy, saging and things of that nature as I shuffle, and I'm watching Pink Parade again. The pink elephants on parade. I'm shuffling. Community comes at the bottom. They got some stuff going on as well. So overall, we are shifting towards a community-like mindset as opposed to a patriarchal mindset. Because let's be honest, the patriarchy is meant to save, coddle half of humanity, and it's not even the half that can create. Okay, it's not the half that can create. God forbid all the men in the world just disappear. The women that are pregnant will still be able to populate the world. Yes. Not to mention, we have the North and South nodes shifting into Aquarius and Leo. Leo would technically be on the lower vibrational. I'm not saying Leos are lower vibration. I'm saying Leo will be in the South node, which is the me and the I. The Aquarians Aquarius itself represents humanitarians, the we. So there's a big shift that is going to occur that I believe that we are going to be able to witness as far as the benefits that come with leading more from a matriarchal standpoint. I'm going to pray before I get into this because it's actually like really good. I'm feeling good about this. Okay. Lord, I thank you in advance. Ask for clarity, protection, as well as progression and connection. I extend my gratitude and ask that my angels and guides protect me and mine on this vibe. Also, yesterday, okay, so let me just start this by saying I was talking to God the other day, and I was like, God, as much as I love a sky day, I'm feeling more and more like, at the very least, if it's not a sky daddy, and I don't believe that it's a male, I don't. Now, I've always said God and He simply because though my roots come from Christianity. However, at the very least, if God created us in their image, it would be either a woman or a woman and a man. It would be both. So with that being said, I'm like, God, what do you want me to call you? Should it be goddess? Should it be? And overall, I'm really leaning towards it's not for us to know. Just know that something up there, okay? Something up there is bigger than us and it's leading us in the right direction. So yesterday I woke up to God is a woman. God is a woman. Okay, that's the song that I woke up to. God is a Woman by Ariana Grande. And I just so happened to rewatch her MTV performance, brought me to tears. Brought me to tears. I've watched it more than once, but this time I watched it and it literally brought me to tears. So I'm upstairs pulling. I'm like, God, is you what God is or what? The spread that I pulled out of the 8 cards that I pulled, 6 of them were major arcana. 6, which is the pregnant woman. Do with that as you will. Okay. However, I will still be referring to the Most High as God simply because we are here to be authentic. That's what feels authentically pleasing to me. Whether it's a shortened version of Goddess or not, I don't care how y'all look at it. Okay, all right. God, what is this? What is this energy? What are we meant to take away from this energy? What is it that you want me to relay? What is it that you want me to say? Ashe. And so it will be. Mm. And this is the thing. A lot of pro-patriarchy, patriarchal men and women, misogynistic men and women, they believe that a matriarchy will look like a patriarchy. And just like, say, people of color, if people of color were to be empowered, we wouldn't treat confirmation on my phone. I got a phone call. We wouldn't treat the lighter people like we have been treated because we know what it's like to be oppressed. And furthermore, a matriarchy simply censors the children and the future. That doesn't mean that we want to say, no, men are stay-at-home husbands. Men are to be submissive. Men are to be less than. No, no, no. It's about the protection of the future and those that create it. Men rule this realm because they are physically stronger, because they are meant to protect. And I also get, oh, men are supposed to lead. It's in the Bible. Men are supposed to lead as far as direction and being a source. There is a Greek word for authority, superiority. That was not used. That's not how it was translated. You are meant to govern and protect the source, because if you believe that physical laws surpass spiritual laws, you got the game messed up. And women, due to the fact we are born with wombs, come in connected. Every healer needs a protector. And so I'm also picking up on, well, if men were in power, we'd have wars simply because they're on their ladies' day. We have wars simply because your feelings were hurt. Every war has started with men and their egos, pissing contest, if you will. And this isn't a shot to men. It's just like, I've been sitting on this for a minute. I've been seeing elephants since probably last Thursday. Today's Monday. Okay. Breakthrough at the bottom. This isn't meant to demean men at all, but some of y'all got a little too big for y'all britches. And all of the fairy tales and the stories, savages, they're different from us, which means they can't be trusted. We must start the drums of war. We know historically certain explorers come across people whom they don't understand, and so they demonize them. Women have always been seen as the more complex gender. I want to make sure I'm using the terms right. And so, and we also are the ones that hold the key to birth, to creation, not only because of what can come out of our body, but because of what comes directly to us, a woman's intuition. We may not always listen to it, but best believe it's always there. You feel me? Sorry for my rant, y'all. But yeah, what's the message? Pink elephants on parade. Oh, and there's something significant about the Egyptians. I saw something today. Egyptians viewed women as goddesses because we could procreate. That's what I was going to say. So, with us having the power to create, there's something to be said about a man that wants to control. Now, let's remember, I'm not against marriage, but marriage was initially made for men to declare what was theirs. That woman is mine. She has my last name. Those children are mine because they came from the woman that is mine. This land is mine because it has my name on it. It was about alliance and it was about borders. It wasn't about community. It was, this is mine. I earned it. I sold a goat for this woman. But how does that benefit the community? Radiance as a woman frolics, book and naked through the forest. All right. Burning. Okay. So the world as we know it is quite literally burning down. That's what I'm getting from this. There's something about us also needing to reconnect with nature. Notice the cauldron at the bottom. The Salem witch trials could be significant. Now let's remember, witch was another word for weird. You're doing something I can't do, you're a witch. I don't like you, you're a witch. You're a little abnormal, you're a witch. We are all magical. If you choose not to believe that, then that's an issue within self, right? Right. Okay. Death, angel trumpet, death. It's time to release. It's time to think about the world in its entirety completely differently. Mm. Breakthrough still at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, it's time to break away. Mm. Break away from the norm. How many people are sacrificing their authenticity for the approval of everyone else? And how much has it set society back? Mm. Mind you, it's a woman running away butt naked. Something about modesty. Because this is the thing. If it mattered what we wore, confirmation on my phone. If it mattered what we wore, then the rates would still be significantly lower, right? SA rates, right? I've heard that even in fully clothed societies, meaning like the burqas and things of that nature, it's still very much so rampant. So is it what we wear or is it your lack of discipline? And have you ever noticed that it's always the woman's fault regardless? If you have the baby, it's your fault. If you don't have the baby, it's your fault. If you choose the wrong man, it's your fault. If you choose the right man, it's your fault. And by that I mean if your standards are too low, it's your fault. If your standards are too high, it's your fault. If you're too educated, it's your fault. There's so much weight that women have to carry, and you don't have to be a mother to do so. There's so much weight that a woman has to carry so that society can benefit, right? The society can only grow by a woman suffering. And I'm hearing something about, well, men build this and men built that. Who built the men's? All right, God, what's the significance? Pink elephants on parade. Something about the eye of Horus could be significant. Opposition. You do realize when you come up against your creators that you're cutting off your nose to spite your face. I've gotten at least 2 calls through this message. I ain't got a call all day, with at least within the last 2 hours. 8. 8. I'm getting careful what you wish for, careful what you're eating. A need to lean more into nature. We might be being led to grow more of your crops, grow your food, especially in America. All right, legal. And then when you think about the control, men want to control our bodies so very much. When you think about dragons, they want to control them. When you think about a circus, they are controlling animals, not because there's a need to, but because I can profit off of you. Conflict. Mature man. There's an issue with the lack of mature men that we have in society because there are a lot of men who are not misogynistic. And you ever think about how misogyny ends the lives of many? Misandry hasn't. Misandry is just I identify with the fact that this shit ain't right. Healer. Healer. There's an issue with the lack of healing, the lack of maturity within men. If they were to focus all of their energy on controlling themselves and holding themselves more accountable, and I'm not just talking, I mean masculine energies, because women struggle with this too. There are misogynistic women as well. But if they were to look in the mirror and realize you can't control anything but yourself, there would be less havoc wreaked. Mm. Healer, I'm gonna take this. The only reason you would ever have to force someone to believe that they are less than you is because you already know that they are more than you. People that are high up don't bring other people down, whether it's physically, financially, spiritually. You're already up. If I'm gonna pull you anywhere, it's gonna be up. Only up from here. Something about rock bottom could be significant. Rock bottom. It's time for a change. And the North Node shifting is definitely going to reflect that. Pink elephants on parade. Doom, 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 doom. Something about the eye in the sky as well. We are always being watched, always being controlled, micromanaged. What is this? What do you want me to say? Opposition. Verify opposition. Nine of Swords in reverse. And the Chariot. Cancer season, baby. So it feels as though the opposition, those that have decided to oppose us, really have nothing to fear. Like I said, the oppressors wouldn't get into power and then seek to oppress. That's just continuing the cycle. Queen of Coins. That's continuing the cycle. This is mothering energy as well. There's something about demonizing the feminine energy, demonizing the mother. I spoke about that. One more. Nothing to fear. Ace of Wands. Okay. And then the Tower. Shock, change, a collapse. And the Queen of Pentacles to the Ace of Wands. There's something about, I'm seeing like something being handed over, possibly the reins. I don't feel as though they're gonna have much of a choice. I think it's just gonna be so very clear, very loud that a change needs to be made, and it might start with the people that are in charge. it might start with the downfall of specific systems. Can I get one more? Two of Cups and the Five of Wands, which is conflict. Elephants. Elephants. And in that clip of Dumbo, there are elephants that are like attached. Like we are naturally, we're gonna be attached. We have to cohabitate. We have to work together. But when half of society is only focused on their needs, their wants, and only it gives me the energy of I want a wife. Confirmation. I want a wife, but do you want to be a husband? I want a partner to benefit from, but I'm going to focus on the things that make me happy. I'm not going to check in. I'm not going to ask and pay attention to the things that needs to be done in order for us to work cohesively. Because let's be honest, when you focus on yourself, your needs, the things that you think should happen simply because you are bringing in the money or you are the man, your house will collapse. A woman can damage a relationship or a house by her words. A man can do it by his actions or lack thereof. And so now it feels like with this Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, the woman is going to have a certain amount of power or a certain amount of say so. Five of Wands. Six of Cups, because the past, look, High Priestess, intuition, because the past have left us with this. Think about all of the wars that we have had, all of the struggles that we have had while we have been under the guise of a patriarchy. And I'm not just talking about America, but I digress. Six of Wands. Five of Wands was at the bottom. Ace of Wands. There's a need. It's like somebody else may have an answer and they might not have a dillywag. All right. And because we have intuition, okay, so this is the thing. You guys provide, you can protect on a 3D level. What do you think we're supposed to do with our intuition? Receive guidance from the Most High and give it to you. So that way we can all benefit. But if you feel like a woman is dumb, useless, inferior, you're not going to water her in a way in which she can really truly benefit you. We are much more than our bodies. We are much more than our boobs, our looks. But when you minimize us to that, of course, you're going to get not only backlash, but suffering. Five of Wands at the bottom again. Okay. And there's something about us remembering where we're coming from. This could be like past life memories or things of that nature. Elephants have good memory. And this is the thing, our wombs hold memory, trauma. So we are reproducing those traumas. Five of Swords. Jealousy. This is the thing. For me, feminism isn't adequate because we can do what a man can do plus more. Plus more. So why would you ever think that I'm equal to you? You damn sure ain't above me. Damn, I don't want to come off as sounding like too high and mighty. But when the scale has been so far left, you got to inch back to the right. Little by little. And that starts with owning your own power. And that starts with, I'm a powerful ass motherfucker. Five of Swords. Death in reverse. There's something, and this is falling under legal. it feels like they're resisting change so much that when it comes, it's gonna knock them on their ass. We are gonna be knocked on our ass. Resistance is way harder than going with the flow. Moon energy. And due to the fact death is here, 6 + 4, 10. The end is near. After 10, we begin again. We've reached our maximum. We've reached our maximum capacity for the bullshit. Things must change. Queen of Swords. And it starts internally. The queens to me are internal. Feminine energy, internal. It starts with self. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Oh, yeah. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Yes, yes. But there's so much pride and ego. My goodness. Take a look at yourself and then make a change. But they don't want to change. They've benefited so much heavily from the submission or the quieting, the silencing of the feminine energy. And it's also within themselves. You see it all the time. Men don't cry. Don't speak about your emotions. Just go work it out. No. So it starts with them. They have to realize internally their feminine energy is detached because men can create as well. But they have to acknowledge that part of them. That's like a dark-skinned man saying that he don't want no dark-skinned woman. Or shoot, a black person saying that they don't want a black person. Now, it's one thing to just so happen to fall in love with another race. It's another thing to say, I don't want somebody that looks like me. I don't want somebody with that type of hair. You have the same type of hair. That's self-hate. So there might be something speaking to men not wanting to identify the fact that they feel weak too. They have emotions too. They lash out too. And when you think about a man, a lot of times a man is simply not what a woman is. So there's an innate resistance towards a woman. Yeah, you could love her, you could like her, but you don't respect her because you don't respect that part of yourself. You've neglected it for so long, and it never disappears. Strength, 5 of Wands, and that is the conflict. You're fighting with your ego, with what the shell of you that the world has told you you should be, how a man looks. It should more so be what is your soul saying? What is your spirit saying? Six of Cups, fighting demons, because that one time I expressed myself, somebody didn't receive it. Okay, that's a hump that you got to get over. There's a reason why men are finding that women are more masculine. It's because our femininity isn't respected, at the very least, supported, nurtured. There's a need for balance because the toxicity is getting out of hand. It's like we forgot where we came from. Now, let's remember, all babies start as female. And if I'm not mistaken, it's abnormal to have a boy, right? And I got a boy. Okay. 3 of Swords. This is coming out for conflict and mature man because on the inside, they've been hurt. They've been broken. And it really feels like something happened in their childhood. Okay. 9 of Wands, which is why they are guarded. I can't give up my secrets. I can't express myself. I can't give up the power of myself or others. There's something about like maintenance or maintaining something in order to look good. But if you don't feel good, then that energy is still going to negatively pour out onto other people. All right. The Hermit. Okay. The Hermit is the maiden of the zodiac. Also very, I'm not going to say very, but hermits are, Virgos are very analytical. They critique, criticize, criticize, criticize. Something significant about Virgo season, the end of August could be significant. Page of Cups, I said that child energy. Mm. Something could be significant about a Pisces. All right. What is this? Six of Cups, baby. Childhood. What happened in the childhood? Four of Coins, they were taught to hold a certain level of like false discipline, because the four of coins speaks to resistance, holding on to, maintaining. Also mental stability, the Empress. They were meant, it feels as though a lot of our low vibrational men, the toxic masculinity, the toxic masculines, because not all not I'm not saying masculine energy is toxic. But we have low vibrational masculines, low vibrational feminines. Those are energies, lower levels, anger, hatred. That's lower, those are lower vibrations. Mature man. And notice behind those mature men, they are fighting with self. Mind you, I'm speaking about the energies, not necessarily just one gender. But we have the Empress here, the mother, the creator, the attractor, the fertile energy. There's something that has been negated, and the devil. I've already pulled out the devil. They've demonized femininity so much on all scales that there's going to need to be some balance. And that leads more towards the we. Matriarchal societies are led by what are the children going to need? What are the people that have the children going to need? And the men are meant to protect. The masculines are meant to protect. Otherwise, there is no future. If the children aren't protected, who's going to lead the world? Heal the world. Hey, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. And our people dying. Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Coins. 9 to the 10. Family, legacy. That is where our energy should be directed towards. Not necessarily just the me, 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 me. The Nine of Pentacles is also individualism, self-reliance, self-sufficient. And I hate to say it, but you can't do shit by yourself, son. Son, clarity. Knight of Cups. In order to provide and protect, you got to have people to do that for, right? In order to work, you got to have somebody to work for, right? Whether you are a sole proprietorship, an LLC, a business, you have to have customers, right? You got to have consumers, right? If nobody's buying what you're selling, then what? Okay. And that's on every scale. People need people. It ain't no peepers without the women's. Okay. No happiness without the feminine. If you are constantly doing, the feminine energy is receiving, inner reflection, self-reflection. If you never take the chance to look at yourself, then how are you going to grow and heal? We have that capacity. We have the capacity to heal ourselves and therefore heal others. But if you never look at it, look at yourself, looking towards the audience, outward, there's a whole lot of projection out here. If I can't do this, neither can you. And that's simply not correct. There's an innate inferiority complex that I feel a lot of misogynists will never say out loud. Clarify healer. Tapping into your femininity is the answer. Should be the goal for everybody. And that's the energy of, I deserve that. I receive that. What they say, whatever you give a woman, she will multiply. And that can be applicable to anyone. Because some toxic masculinity is, I don't need you to do anything for me. We can all suffer from that sometimes. Eight of Cups. It's time for us to walk towards the feminine energy, walk towards protecting the children, who are a lot of times in their feminine energies. Children are very, very creative. And so if the masculines that we are enduring right now have suffered during their childhood, then it's only right that we take a look at our children and change that. Embrace who it is that they are, what it is that they are feeling, acknowledge that and move forward adequately. Not tighten up, you're a boy, not man up, you're a boy. How are you feeling? And that goes for feelings, for domestic partnership. No. My son will know how to wash dishes as well as take out the trash, as well as cook for himself. Hello? That's a human skill. Heal. What else with the healer? Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Swords in reverse. It came out on its side though. Eight of Swords is self-imprisonment. The Wheel of Fortune is the wheel of karma. So the farther we get out of this, the more likely this will be more positive. Something about Pluto is significant. But these are also fixed signs. So there's something significant about getting out of the stubborn energy of, well, this is just how the world is. This is just what works. But does it? Does it work? Four of Swords again. 4 to the 8, 12. The Hanged Man. There's a need for a change in perspective. And this is the full moon coming up. New beginnings are afoot. Queen of Wands in reverse and the Page of Swords. This Queen of Wands is giving me being disempowered, not believing in oneself, believing in your abilities, and projecting that outwardly for whomever that may resonate with. The Chariot and moving forward, progression. Because if we stick with what's going on right now, baby, look, a lot of us ain't gonna make it out alive. At the very least, whole. At the very least, sane. And if I'm not mistaken, St. John's wort talks about children. and free your mind. The rest will follow. Mind you, they are outside. The house is burning. Systems are crumbling. The tower, something isn't substantial anymore. The Four of Wands, harmony. In order for us to be, yes, and the High Priestess, in order for us to be more harmonious, it's time for us to tap in spiritually. And that is in order for us to receive, to sit back and receive energies and receive downloads, information, you got to be in your feminine. Everybody, everybody get up. And I just saw the Eight of Wands. In order for us to receive, we got to sit the hell down, take heed. We might be sat down in a minute. We were sat down at one point in time. Y'all remember COVID? Y'all remember? I remember. All right. Anything else? Seven of Wands and the Lovers. And the Seven of Coins. Okay. There's work that's been put in. Eight of Cups. And it feels as though all the work that has been put in to establish these systems and things of that nature, they are defending them. They are defending them. And that could have been very significant in Gemini season or something like that. Let me get one more for this. Defending choices. Mm-hmm. Seven of Coins, defending choices. Seven of Swords. There's a lot of deception that has been invested in. This could be by way of education. This could be by way of information. This could be by way of television, TV. It tells a vision. It tells you what to believe in. It tells you what to pay attention to. Healing, the star, Five of Coins. So that you don't know or you aren't able to feel, you're too distracted to pick up on and pay attention to what's really going on. A lot of times you hear, we see this because they don't want you to know about this. The Moon. What is hidden? What is hidden is they are trying to defend their choices. That's interesting. Knight of Wands. Passions, desires, goals, and things of that nature. Fast. Something's coming in fast. What is this? Page of Swords. We're going to see it. We're going to see it. Some type of research or something like that. The Fool. A new beginning. The moon. The moon is going to be full tonight. A new beginning. Full moons bring in the new. This. So I feel as though this new moon is bringing in ideas and realizations of what is to come, what needs to be released. Death is here twice, and the legal system don't want no change. Now, this legal is also giving me seemingly stable structures, if that makes sense. So this could be, when you think about a family, things like, oh, we've never gone to therapy. Oh, that has always been a familiar curse. Oh, our family is angry. Oh, we fight a lot. Oh, our family struggles with drinking. Our family struggles with this, and that. Of course, the entity, the devil, does not want that to change. They benefiting. But without change comes no growth. You're going to be stagnant forever. Nine of Cups. However, if we lean more into the feminine and it landed on the healer, then everybody gets their wish fulfillment. Ace of Coins, new beginning, which is different. With the patriarchy, half of the society may be happy. You know what I'm saying? Center the children, center the creators, protect the future, and we will all benefit. It's inevitable. All right. Hey, I really want to read Breakthrough, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to read Breakthrough. Okay. Thank you, Lord. The Hanged Man, 3 plus 9. I'm going to read that. Okay. All right. Woo! All right. The dawn of new mind, new ideas, visionary thinking, mental clarity, and resilience. The sword of truth is held by the hand of God, rises from the clouds, signaling a moment of breakthrough. The double edged sword is encircled by a golden crown, symbolizing the victory of transcendence over illusions. Both Ginkgo and Raven are ancient guardians of Earth, both symbolizing the strength and resilience required to protect the ethereal realm, the source of magic. Okay. If Ginkgo has appeared in your spread today, you are about to experience a total breakthrough, a revolutionary change in consciousness. Ain't no choice. Bring the light of dawn to the ongoing cycles of darkness within yourself or those experienced on earth. Stay dynamic and fluid and don't allow negativity to cloud your judgment. That's what I got for y'all today. I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all if y'all made it to the end. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you have any questions for me, check the description box down below. And as always, stay fly, aim high. Okay.